There's an economic mechanism at work in our debt-based monetary system that can be explained like this. When, for example, a fairy gives money to Beacon, she steals money from Lynette. How does this work? How is it possible to steal money from afar? I'd like to introduce my latest book, Inflationary Faeries, just released on Amazon. It's a fun fantasy novel set in medieval Ireland with a meandering and twisting story braided through the lives of both shirefolk and fairies. It's a funny, poetic escape into another time, but with the byproduct that the story makes inflation very simple to understand. The ability to steal wealth from afar is the sorcery of inflation, and it's something that's hard for most people to see and understand, as Lynette Zang points out.
But with this garbage, if you read what they were saying when they first put this in place, it was inflation was baked into the system because not one man in a million understands inflation. And even Christine Lagarde, the head of the ECB, and Jerome Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, admitted they do not understand inflation.
Our inability to understand inflation is also baked into the system. It's not taught in schools. In fact, basic economics is not taught in schools for one very good reason. If people really understood how the system works, they'd start demanding change. But because nobody has any idea how banks employ this hidden tax of inflation, and how this tax depends on a bank-government symbiosis, they actually look to government and central banking interventions for financial helps. This book will help younger people, even kids, understand this one basic mechanism, that when the fairy gives money to Beacon, she steals money from Lynette. When this next generation really gets the big lie, reform will have a much better chance. And if your kids, or you, like the fantasy of Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, I think you'll like Inflationary Faeries. The first chapter is available on my website, and there's a link to that in the description. I've also provided the Amazon link to the book itself. And because of this book's overarching focus on trees, I'd like to invite anyone interested to join our online conversation regarding the role of trees in the chemical production of gold, and how constellations, ley lines, Francis Bacon, Shakespeare, corporate law, and monetary theory might all figure in. That conversation is happening in the Sylveritas group on Facebook. The Latin root silva, meaning wooded forest. And a link to the Sylveritas group is in the description as well.